Welcome back to Sonic Forces after Shadow now joins the party and will now sit back and do absolutely nothing, even though he's technically better than Sonic as far as his abilities go.
You know, there's actually Shadow just straight up lied there because they have no heart and soul. The virtual reality projection of Zavik had his personality and was snarking at Sonic in the boss fight.
Yeah, but you can mimic that stuff.
I can't believe he beat me again.
Also, Ted, snarking in big old fat massive air quotes, because he didn't say much.
How do you do, fellow biological life forms?
That's the only one that has anything resembling a personality is the thing. None of the other ones even speak.
I just want to quickly interject what Ryan said about we're now joined by someone who won't do anything and he's better than the original. My son's currently on my lap. He may not say anything, and if you hear the very loud crying, it's me because I don't like this game. But yeah.
Gareth, you don't have to cover for me. I've gotten over my
moral of the story
fear
is
of
nobody's
Sonic.
can't grow hearts.
So you're saying this might be Benji's first commentary gig?
No, technically his first commentary gig was the loading screen of Sonic 06. You know what? I do want to take back what I said, just because, as we all know, the Sonic Forces Defense Squad is in full swing. I don't hate this game. It's just mind-numbingly mediocre.
Yep.
Well, that said, I'll probably still get some enjoyment out of this game. It's middling as hell. It's a mixed bag, but for some reason I keep wanting to go back and play it.
The modern stages, you know what? I can see that, but I have no intention, aside from trying to get red rings. Like once I've 100%ed the classic stages, I have no intention of ever fucking touching those again. They are literal trash.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I would rather play Sonic 4.
Best game ever made, baby!
At least in Sonic 4, the physics and the level design seemed to mesh well. In this game, it feels like classic Sonic's levels were designed by designers who thought the physics would be better, and then they weren't.
Yep. Well, no, the classic Sonic's levels feel like, what assets do we have that we can just cobble together 2D levels for?
It's a callback to Sonic Heroes, and it's not a fucking Green Hill clone.
You know, I was actually worried that they were going to bring back Seaside Hill because they say Seaside Hill at some point.
Yeah, they did.
And I was just like, oh god, you're not... I mean, granted, this is something else to reference. I suppose that's not Green Hill or Chemical Plant, but at the same time, I don't think this game has a single unique stage idea at all. Like, the Burning City, Shadow the Hedgehog, Casino Forest is basically just Casino Night. This is Sonic Heroes, Chemical Plant, Green Hill. There's only like 6 or 7 stage themes in this entire game, and none of them are unique at all. So,
yeah. Although, Ted, I will say, I love that moment when it flies behind you because of the eyes of this OC. It's just like, what the fuck?
Good old stares the abyss, always staring at everything.
One thing I do want to, I want to harp on just a little bit is, like, they're bringing back Metropolis, Grand Metropolis rather. That's a different thing from Metropolis, Sega. Just to remind you all.
With portal personality spheres in the background.
I was really worried that we were going to get Sonic 2 Metropolis when they said Metropolis, and then I was like,
that was my thought too. In fact, I watched the cutscenes on YouTube before we got the game, and when they said Metropolis, I assumed that they meant Sonic 2 Metropolis.
But guys, Metropolis is white, not green. Worst game ever. 0 out of 10.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, even though this is Grand Metropolis, it looks like we're grinding rails in Mirror's Edge right now, rather than playing Sonic Heroes.
No, guys, this is just Grand Metropolis in generations before we restore the color.
Also, what the fuck? I didn't notice that the first time I played. What's with the giant-ass infinite snakes?
This is the only level in the game that tries to live up to the potential that Infinite has, because he fucks with the level the entire time you're playing it. This is one of the only stages in the game that tries to be dynamic, and it's also one of the only stages in the game that's more than like 2 minutes long as well. It's also like the least important story stage in the world, because Knuckles is just like, let's go and bring the fight to Eggman. Oh god, this idea was terrible. All of
oh god, everyone's died.
Dead.
Yeah.
And 20% haven't turned up either.
Yeah.
And the level's over already.
Yep.
Ugh.
But like 80% of our troop.
Now, this next level this goddamn next boss is the biggest joke in the game if you use the burst Wispin. But it's actually really, really hard if you use the wrong Wispin. Because it becomes a goddamn clusterfuck.
Oh, oh yeah, I had the asteroid wisp when I was fighting this infinite boss, and it is.
I was using.
Oh yeah, you were using what is it, Safety the Wolf?
Safety the
The saga
Wolf.
of Safety the Wolf is something that
Safety
will
the Wolf has got to be safe.
Okay, I was using Cube, which is goddamn useless in this fight. So that meant I had to fight him with the homing attack or the grapple attack, whatever it's called.
Same difference.
Yeah, same difference. But goddamn, he is hard when you're not using a wisp that can take his health down fast. It's like they designed this really difficult boss fight for modern Sonic, and then decided to give it to the Avatar, who made it a complete broken joke.
You know, the thing is that I feel like the Avatar. What's keeping those glasses up? For the record,
The power of his
The power of
stairs.
friendship.
His eyes are magnetic.
but
They're so big they have their own gravitational pull.
None of the glasses are cling to your character. I tried to get like Eggman sunglasses, but they literally just hover in front of his face.
Yeah.
Don't they sometimes do that for Eggman anyway?
Hey, my character has an even better accessory: Sonic Boom
Nice.
shoes.
They're in this game. Yep.
you know,
No, I love how they put in the soap shoes as for
yeah,
for
the soap
the
shoes
Avatar as
did
well.
honestly make me a little bit happy to see.
I will say, guys,
like,
that
you know, seeing as SA2 was my first introduction to Sonic, it's a little
Yeah,
bit
Ted, we
weird
know.
seeing him without them, to me, even though he's only had the soap shoes for one game. But this boss fight sucks. This is the boss
Wait,
fights in this game
ow.
are the worst thing about it, in my opinion.
How did you let yourself get hit there? Jesus Christ.
Here we go again.
No, this should take 20 seconds to beat.
He can't reach him with the flamethrower.
I
He
can't
hovers
tilt
too much.
my wrists up slightly.
Yeah.
curse you,
No,
Mega
what
Man.
I'm saying is, like, you shouldn't have let him hit you when you die. Why are you homing it? Stay on the ground.
Jesus
Let him stop on the
fucking
floor, and
Christ.
then just fire the flamethrower into his face until he dies.
Lewis is definitely doing the next new Sonic game.
Yeah, because
I already recorded this boss on Twitter. It was a joke.
Jokes are funny.
You're doing all the wrong things in this fight. You have the weapon.
he
You need
can't.
to
He's
break
been
him
honestly.
in
He's been
two.
trying. Infinite's not getting in range for him to hit. Like
No, you stay on the ground. You wait for him to do the stupid dive attack.
He hasn't done it yet.
He stops. He's done it 3 times. He stops on the ground.
Ow.
Oh, and then you go and get hit by. Okay.
Gee, your play. Here's alright. You know what? No, it's not enough for you to record the next game. It's going to be live. That way you can't edit out your fuck ups. Because holy shit.
You know, the Avatar with his weapons would have been a little bit more. What would have made the Avatar, I think, more interesting? Because I do think it's the part of this game that has the most potential. Is just really simple shit, like, for example, maybe having the different clothing give you different stats, or being able to switch between 2 or 3 weapons at the same in a stage with the triggers or whatever, or maybe even just moving the attack button from like ZR to the Y button, where it would be more comfortable and make more sense. But
Something I would have liked with the Avatar, because he's doing so much swinging around with the wire.
oh yeah,
I would
that
have loved
too.
a swinging mechanic like Simon Belmont in Castlevania 4 or something.
I
Like,
agree,
Maybe
yeah.
to
Get
have
all
these
fucking,
timed
get all
jumps or
fucking
something.
Spider-Man.
I talked
yeah,
about
like a
this
Spider-Man.
on Twitter, but can you guys imagine a game that controls like Sonic Adventure 1, uses the custom avatar, has like a weapon wheel for switching Wispins, and, you know, it's this great big old action RPG where you're collecting new tools and abilities and everything. That would be frickin' amazing, man.
If they could, that
Pretty much 3D Axiom
that's
Verge.
probably what it would be if the game was focused just on the Avatar, is the thing. But they felt like they needed to have Sonic and they needed to have classic Sonic. So all of these other things spread out development. So the Avatar needs to be more like modern Sonic, and classic Sonic just needs to be there wasting time and energy. So anything, like, if it were just a spin-off with the Avatar, it would be a 10 times better game. in my opinion. Like,
Well, you know,
fuck
they
Sonic.
could still put in modern Sonic and just have him control like Adventure 1 Sonic, but
But then people would be.
But
asking,
Izuku doesn't want to do the adventure series because he doesn't want to go back to a previous gameplay style just for the fans.
how about just because it controlled better? Let's go with that.
This is a whole new experience. It's not Generations 2, guys. For real.
Yeah, by a whole new experience, they meant we mimicked the Generations engine, but didn't actually use the Generations engine, so everything feels worse.
I love Adventure 1 and 2. Yes, I actually do like Adventure 1. I just like Adventure 2 more. I don't hate Adventure 1. Guys, jeez.
Can't
I
say
like
that.
Adventure 1's controls more than 2, is what I should say. It felt smoother. Well, when it wasn't doing weird camera tricks that screwed
But
with controls.
here's the thing. But going back to those games is hard because both of them are very, very jank.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only thing that you can't really make, if you're an Adventure 1 fan against an Adventure 2 fan, or vice versa, the only thing you can't make fun of the other game about is the janky parts, because you know that they're just going to have 15 other janky parts from your game that they can bring up immediately. So,
Speaking of janky.
yeah. So, if a modern game,
Did you see how slow he was running down that hill?
Momentum!
yeah, I make fun of the physics snobs in the Sonic fan base, and even I have to admit that's pretty terrible. So,
Oh, God.
but assuming that Sonic Team's not taking a nap, I would have to assume that a newer version of the adventure style would be less jank, and thus would age better.
Yeah, to give them credit, since not quite Unleashed, but at least since Colors, the Sonic games have at least been very functional.
All of them still have glitches, but they're less
Well, no, every game has glitches if you try hard enough.
yeah, but it's less like you're going to hit a boost pad wrong and then fly off the
And
stage.
fall through the floor.
Yeah, and
Or
stuff
fall
like-
through the floor.
Yeah, which
Yeah.
happens in all the adventure style games.
We haven't had a homing attack orbiting incident since Sonic Heroes, so that's an
Yeah.
No, Shadow the Hedgehog.
Shadow still had
Shadow
it.
the Hedgehog. I'm sorry, I keep trying to block that game from my memory.
Yeah. But no, the point is that I wouldn't... That at least if they tried another adventure game, we can at least expect it to be much more technically sound, which is very important for that style of game.
After classic Sonic, there is no guarantees.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Mania is a much better game than this, and even that's full of glitches. So, to God.
The drowning music kicks in really goddamn fast in this game.
Yes, it does.
Honestly, this is probably my least favorite classic Sonic level, because it's Chemical Plant, only it's Chemical Plant without the part that makes Chemical Plant fun, which is the flow.
We already had a perfect classic Sonic Chemical Plant redo in Sonic Generations, and then we had an even perfecter one in Sonic Mania. So
Perfecter.
this is just kind of like a wet fart on the face of Chemical Plant.
Let's put it this way. I never want to see Green Hill or Chemical Plant for at least another 20 years.
Well, you know,
Ever.
it is one thing if it's Chemical Plant yet again, but if it's gonna be Chemical Plant yet again, do it goddamn right.
Can we also talk about how Chemical Plant looks actually worse
Yep.
than Generations? The colors aren't nearly as vibrant here as they were in
texture
Generations.
looks bad in this game.
With Green Hill, I know we make fun of it, but I really can't tell the difference between Green Hill and Forces and Generations. Maybe you guys can, I don't know. But this looks appreciably worse than Generations.
I love how they had so little faith in Classic Sonic's platforming ability there that they just put fans there so you wouldn't have to bother.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the other problem with this game. It kind of plays itself because it's so easy. The game doesn't really start ramping up in difficulty till the last few stages.
And
even
this is
then,
on
I wouldn't
hard
call
mode.
that really hard.
That's on
think
hard
so?
mode, yeah. There's a couple
Even
of
that,
parts...
there's not much. There's not much difference between normal and hard.
Oh,
in this
there is
game.
no difference. The only thing that's different
yeah.
is the ring system. I've played this game on both normal and hard. The bosses are not harder. They don't hit you faster. There's no different enemy placement. It's the only difference is in normal mode, you get only 100 rings, but you only drop 20 or so when you get hit. And in hard mode, you can collect up to 999, but when you take a hit, you lose all of them. That's the only
dumbest
difference.
thing ever.
And you can't save
Which
your
doesn't
scores.
mean, which is a moot point if you're playing as the cat.
And you can't save your scores in normal mode as well, I believe. But
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody really cares.
That kind of makes it sound like they had two different ideas for how to make the rings significant without a live system, and just made them difficulty modes based on which was harder to play.
Well, making the rings a health bar is something that's been done in a handful of games, and it's a decent idea.
Unleash did it, but like in hard mode, what the rings do is like every ring that you pick up adds points to your score, and then keeping those rings till the end of the stage, it determines your ring bonus. So it is actually necessary to get a bunch of them if you want to S rank.
If I had to guess, I think that the game probably had more avatar focus at one point. I'm just like speculating here, but if the avatar was more of a focus at one point, combat was also probably.
In the demo, you didn't drop rings.
Oh wow!
Apparently, even Classic Sonic didn't drop rings.
Huh.
So apparently, like, you could only collect rings and drop them if you picked the Avatar Hedgehog at one point.
Huh.
But for some reason, that logic didn't apply to the other two hedgehogs. I don't know. It was dumb. Okay, the demo was terrible.
Yeah, so, like, I'm guessing that the Avatar probably used rings as a health bar at some point, and, like, that would be fine if it were, like a combat-focused game, and
like
if the
Boom?
combat were more fleshed out, or whatever. Well,
Yeah,
like
you're
Boom,
essentially
but
describing
good.
Sonic
Well,
Boom.
yeah, but
Yeah,
that wasn't a bad idea
well-
in Boom, it was just bad execution, you know?
So what then leads to the idea that, what was it, the rumor early on that Avatar was going to be Boom Sonic?
I would have
Very early on.
that maybe.
Yeah, that was always a rumor.
Yeah.
This Metal Sonic fight's the same exact fight as Infinite.
It's the same.
the same-
It's the
it's the
same
same
Sonic
fight.
fight from Rise of Lyric.
I was gonna say this
yeah,
was
it's-
very Rise of Lyric too.
Yeah, it's the you fight
Why
the
is
same
he giant
boss like
here
3
though?
times.
I don't get that. Like Zavik and
Virtual
Shadow
reality.
didn't change. Fuck you, Ted.
Because the Phantom Ruby does whatever the fuck it wants.
There we go.
Were you deliberately avoiding all of those red rings?
Oh, Jesus.
No.
Can you not make this your commentary 99%? Fuck the Phantom
guys,
Ruby.
I
Christ.
said this on Twitter. Next year at Too Many Games, the BrainScratch panel just has to be an award ceremony for giving Lewis the worst backseat gamer of all time award.
No way. We will take out John. We take out the backseat of Johnny's car to present it to Lewis.
I think the worst part of this boss fight, though, is that it just winds up feeling like a lesser version of the Silver the Hedgehog.
I brought that up when I was live streaming the game. It's the silver boss, but worse. Oh,
And
God.
when we refight Infinite, this is the same
Yep.
exact boss fight.
Yes, it is.
Although,
It
guys,
is.
I will say though, I am glad that Sega kind of remembers the American version of Sonic CD. I am glad that we didn't get another Stardust Speedway remix for this music track.
Well, I mean, that was also...
Probably because we already got a Stardust Speedway remix in Mania earlier.
True, yeah.
Well, not even that. Generations did that.
It
Yeah,
did,
Generations
it
had
did,
a
Johnny,
US
but
remix.
at the footage, you had to
Yeah.
unlock that track. Had to fucking unlock it.
But it was still there, that's my point.
So did
Hey, Ted, fist
Sonic
bump.
4 did a Stardust Speedway remix.
Well, yeah,
at one
but
point, though.
the one in full was the Japanese version. I'm talking specifically about the American one.
Ah.
Hooray, we beat Metal
Again,
Sonic
the
again.
ending,
Fuck, was
the
this- so
ending
it's
of
made of
this
Jell-O?
is just the end of the Shadow fight in Generations, where you get this weird boost for no reason, and then just ram someone up the arse. I love Sonic games.
The double boost is such a non-mechanic. It does nothing. It's just like, okay, we're gonna
Oh,
run
you got
even.
Sonic Boom gloves.
You're just gonna run even faster now for some reason. It's dumb.
Gameplay recording blocked. Gameplay recording resumed.
I love the Avatar's derpy grin.
The big eyes make him look like really like he's high
He
on
looks
something.
like he.
Tear.
Sonic 4.
Oh yeah, that stares the abyss's trick. He just sits in the corner in darkness, and you just see two big eyeballs floating, staring at you.
Occasionally he
The
smiles.
reason why is because this guy, he's just hooked on the Phantom Ruby. He's seen all kinds of fucked up shit.
This is your brain. This is your brain on Phantom Ruby.
I
Any
made that
questions?
joke two
Yes, I
parts
have
ago, you
several.
piece of shit. Fuck you.
Well, that was like an hour ago because we took a break. All right, I'm not paying attention to what you
The
say
comment
anyway.
section's right about you,
Jeez.
Ted.
No, they're not. That's just false.
Jesus.
Now, guys, the comment section's right about everyone.
Except Johnny, he sucks.
Even when they disagree?
Especially how I was right about Lost World.
Oh, okay. We're gonna have to take this outside, buddy.
Shit, then that means I'm gonna have to go into the comment section and say Clement is wrong, and then I'll be right. Oh my god.